start recording. I'm going to mute everybody and we are going to get on with it. So, welcome to Rotary, everybody. Happy noontime. I'm glad that you're here. And Jan, would you please bring us to order?
Happily. Okay, let's pray. Gracious Lord, we give you thanks for this day, and we give you thanks for new beginnings. Lord, especially when a lot of things are changing around us, it's nice to have something that we look forward to starting anew. So please be with us in this Rotary year, and whatever comes our way from the outside, may we, as Rotarians from the inside, continue to serve our community. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Jan. And Renee, would you please lead us in pledge?
Yes, I will. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Renee. And Allison, would you lead us in the incantation, please?
I will, if everybody will unmute and we can sing together. Ready?
Halfway through, everybody mute.
Right?
Justin can do it.
All right, here we go.
R-O-T-A-R-Y. That spells Rotary.
R-O-T-A-R-Y.
Known on land and sea.
From north
North to south, from east
to west, from
south,
most to serve the best.
R-O-T-A-R-Y. That spells Rotary.
Thank you, everybody. That was lovely and wonderful. All right. Do we have any visiting Rotarians or guests today? I don't think I see anybody here. Okay. Happy birthdays. We have Fred Noosh is celebrating his 35th birthday this Friday, July 10. So if you see Fred out and about in the city, do wish him a happy birthday and tell him to get back home. He shouldn't be out and about. We have a few wedding anniversaries. Brad and Connie celebrated an anniversary on July 4. And today is Mark and Amy Walsh's anniversary. So, Mark, don't forget, today's your anniversary. I know I saw him here somewhere. Where'd he go? I know I saw him. All right. And Mark Hussey. Mark turns 1 this week. He's been in for an entire year. So if you see Mark about, then wish him a happy 1-year anniversary. All right. We have a few announcements. And so we will have, oh, I didn't finish my sentence. We will start back up with Rotary After Dark next week. We'll have some more information on that. But of course, this is our evening program for some folks that aren't able to make it during the noon time or the morning time or anything like that. And so we're going to kick back off with our evening program. And so look for some more information on that and what exactly we're going to be doing. It's going to be new to us all. We also had our very first official program of this current Rotary year. I want to give a big thank you to Danny and to Janine for that. And Danny, if you like, would you care to give us a recap of what our festivities were?
Sure. Janine and myself coordinated with Amanda from the Cherry Tree, and they were giving out gift certificates for 12 12 gift certificates, $50 each for any veteran that would enter into the virtual parade. And I think that she drew them randomly. I think she got all 12. Amanda was going to work on the gift certificates. It turned out really, really well. I mean, Janine's the one that did all the work. I just made one phone call to Janine, and she took the ball and she went running. She's doing an outstanding job.
Well, thank you so much, Danny. And as Director of Community Service, you're already off to a wonderful start, and we certainly appreciate all of your work on that. And for those of you that weren't able to watch the Facebook Live show, it was filled with Janine and Cynthia and Susan. I mean, our club had a great showing on the event. And just as a teaser, we might be able to wrangle in Diane Lubert too. I think I finally worn her down, and she might decide to capitulate and then join us. And so we'll have that entire show filled with members from our club. We also have some Paul Harris achievements. And Claudia, would you care to take it away and let us know of our local club achievements?
Hi, everyone. Yes, I have some good news. We've got some Paul Harris Fellow announcements to make. The first one I'd like to announce is Mary Kuzak. She's got a Paul Harris +3. I also have Richard Hartwig, Paul Harris +1. I have Jay Dean with Paul Harris +3. And I also have Brad Womack with Paul Harris +1. So congratulations and thank you for your generosity.
Thank you, Claudia. And just so you know, these are the pins that have just arrived fresh from Evanston.
Yes.
And so we expect that 2 more pins to join that gaggle of pins will be for our 2 newest Paul Harris Fellows, Crystal Emery and Brenda Ballard. And so we all look forward to that. Thank you, all of you, for your continued support of the Rotary Foundation. Let's see, do we have any Happy Dollar announcements? I can't imagine that we have any Happy Dollar announcements yet. Please, Claudia, go ahead.
Yes. Well, over the weekend, it was a long, anxious weekend. My oldest daughter, Selena, she's 25 years old. She had my first grandbaby. He's a boy. He was 7 pounds, 2 ounces. He's perfectly healthy. Everything's perfect. He's not home yet, but it was a really hard weekend. Hospitals are really strict right now, only allowing 1 person per patient. And that's for the safety of everybody. So I understand, but it was still hard. And I was in the parking lot crying. But I'm very happy, and mama's doing good and baby's doing good, and they're not home just yet, but they'll be home hopefully tomorrow. Just very good news happening. Blessings in our family.
That's wonderful, Claudia. Thank you so much. And don't forget that Russell Hampton has several sizes of onesies for future Rotarians. So be sure to check that out.
I will. I did not know.
Yeah. Do we have any more Happy Dollar announcements? Oh,
Yes.
Well, yeah. Oh, yes, Charles, please do.
We do. One really good one is our district. Some of you may not know, our district almost lost our Rotary Club. The Sunrise Club here in Kingsville was talking about maybe disbanding and giving up their charter, but they did not. And they're going to try to rebuild that. And they've got a new president, Randy Hughes. And so that's very good news.
Thank you, Charles. And of course, he is our assistant governor. And so he is our intermediary between our local clubs here and the district. So thank you, Charles, for your continued support as assistant governor. Jan, were you raising your finger? Did you have something? You're muted, Jan.
Do this. Okay, just a thought. A lot of times in church planting, you send a cohort out to be a critical mass. Would it be appropriate for some of our noontime folks to migrate to Sunrise, at least for a year or two, just to help them grow so that they have a critical mass?
Yeah, I appreciate that. And so great minds must be thinking alike. We have a potential program that we're going to be discussing at our upcoming board meeting, a diplomatic committee, if you will, perhaps an emissary. We'll figure out something neat and creative, but yeah, so that's definitely in the works. We definitely want to help them out on those things. Thanks for mentioning that. Any more Happy Dollar announcements?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Charles. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, many dollars
Look at
today.
me.
Charles, you're muted.
Now you hear me?
There we are.
I am an engaged man. If I could get the right picture up. Many of y'all have met Sophia. This is a picture of us at a recent Rotary meeting down in Harlingen. But we've been together about a year and a half, and I asked her if she would like to marry me, and she said yes. So,
Congratulations, Charles. Congratulations from all of us, and we certainly wish you the happiest, and we hope that this will not affect your giving.
well, you know, giving begins at home.
Thank you,
Begins
Charles.
outward. And where do I have to give my donation for all this talking? The Happy Dollars.
Oh, I'm sure that Allison will send you an invoice. Don't worry
We'll
about
figure
that.
out something, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
And,
I'll shut up a while.
Thank you,
y'all.
Charles. Let's see, now that Mark Walsh is back, we want to wish him a happy anniversary and a reminder that today's his anniversary. So don't forget, Mark, and happy anniversary.
Justin.
Okay. Yes, Renee. Oh, thank you. I forgot to send it over to you. Yes, Renee, please go ahead.
I celebrated my anniversary last Tuesday on June 30th, and we've been married for 30 years.
That's wonderful, Renee. Thank you so much for sharing that.
30 years, we've survived. Thank you.
And for those of you that don't know, they have a son that's a ringer at movie trivia. They are the reigning champions so far. So they've got quite a happy home there. Okay, any more Happy Dollars? I'm sorry, Renee?
We are ready for a rematch.
Anything else that we'd like to celebrate today? Okie dokie. Moving on, we do have a new club theme. And of course, we have our international theme, which is Rotary Opens Opportunities by our Rotary International President, Holger Kanak. We have a district theme, which is Lend a Helping Hand by our district governor, Eddie Bartneski. And yes, we even have a club theme. We planned to unveil that at our in-person installation dinner. That didn't happen. And so be looking forward to that announcement in the coming bulletin. Jan, that's another one of those narrative hooks that we're also fond of. And while we're speaking of the bulletin and the website, Jay Dean, thank you so much for all of the tireless hours that you've put into putting the website back together and putting the bulletin back together. You've done a magnificent job. Thank you so much for that.
Please, if I can, Justin, anybody that's getting those, if they're too much or not enough, please respond. I never know if it's just, if it's overwhelming or if you just, please stop JD or not. Let me know.
Yeah, and if anyone has any suggestions, he's happy to show you how to put those together. All right, so be looking forward to that. Also, in our upcoming bulletin, you'll have some new homework assignment. We're going to have a weekly membership engagement pair bonding building activity coming up. And just to give you a little taste of what we're looking at for that is every week we're going to have a new random pairings of members from within our club, and your weekly assignment is to give each other a phone call. It can be a Zoom, it can be a socially responsible coffee that you have together. But we want people to talk, interact, and ask about each other's day. Preferably not over text, preferably not over email. We want everybody to hear each other's voices. And so you won't have any commitments more than that just yet, but we want everybody to be able to talk to everybody else. And ideally, with about 50 members in the club and a usual 50 some odd weeks in a year, by the end of this Rotary year, ideally, you would have had a one-on-one conversation with everybody in the club. And so be looking for some more information and instructions on that in next week's bulletin, along with your weekly pairings. And we might even be able to tie that into our weekly Paul Harris drawings, because what do we love more than giving? Competition and incentives. So do be looking forward to that as well. And if you have not yet completed your member engagement self-survey, I encourage you to try and do that this week, because our board will be looking at all of those results, and we've already been working through some of those so far. And but we want to take in that information, that very valuable information that everyone has taken their time to give us, and so that we can make our club a better and more responsible club for you. And so if you have not yet had an opportunity to complete the member engagement survey, please do so this week. And if you need it again, call, text, or email me, and I'll send it back out to you. So thanks so much for that. Okie dokie. So today, what we have instead of a regular program is we want to look back over the past Rotary year, and Ruth has led us on an amazing journey of club achievements and recognitions. And so let's first give her a round of applause on a job well done for that. Thank you so much, Ruth.
Thank you, Justin.
And we would be remiss not to recap all the work of the past year before we continue with our work for the current year. And so it's kind of a history before future kind of thing. And so I will yield the floor to Ruth as she takes us on a walking guided tour of reminiscence over the past year. Ruth, take it away.
Thank you. So I've already talked about a lot of this. It might be repeating, but that's okay. First, I wanted to start off with, we had some really good strategic planning early on, and we had a follow-up later on during the year. We had some great committee heads that were able to come up with these goals early on and then meet all of them, or close to all of them. Overall, I think we had 33 goals, and as of June 30th, we met 30 of them. We ended up losing one at the very end, having to do with membership numbers, but we'll go over that in detail in a minute. First, I'd just like to talk about, my favorite subject, which is numbers. I'm going to talk to you about budget. I'm going to get you excited about that. I think Linda, after being treasurer for, I don't know how many years, 15, 20, I can't even say, but she was so excited to finally have this budget that met what it was supposed to do. And so I feel like we did a really good job. And the way that we did that is at the beginning of the year, we set up a couple of rules for our board. And we decided that we weren't going to spend our bingo money before it arrived, because as we learned last year, we just couldn't depend on it. You just didn't know what was going to happen. So we prioritized our commitments and we set the funds aside. And once we had those things covered, like scholarships and our 4-way test contest, once we had those funds secure, we put them in a bucket, put it aside, and then we said, okay, Now anything that comes in, now we can give it away. But we're still going to hold it for 1 quarter just in case. So we did that throughout the year. And it ended up, we had a significant surplus. Our budget, we were planning to lose $1,000 by the end of the year. That's what our budget was. We're going to break even almost. This is how we're going to end up. And we ended up with a pretty good cushion for Justin, which was about $21,000 of cushion. And some of that, it was planned, and some of that just, it happened that way because of COVID and a lot of the expenses that we weren't going to incur, or that we had planned to incur. So overall, budget-wise, we did amazingly. And now Justin has a few extra dollars that he's gonna need because he has he has a heavy year ahead of him. Let's go through our committees. I sent out an email to some of our committee heads to get some feedback on their take on the year. And I'm going to call some of these people out. Some of our committee heads are not here today, but that's all right. I'd like to start with membership. Brooke couldn't be in here today, but membership, we did an amazing job. You know, they set up a large list of to-dos for us, Rotary International did. And we, being in this unique area where we have people leave, come and go, you know, we're dealing with something that not a lot of other clubs have to deal with. You know, we can't change the fact that some of our Navy people are only here for a set amount of time, and some of our hospital personnel and university personnel, it interchanges throughout the years. And we ended up starting the year at 47, and we wanted to end at 50, but we were 1 shy. And I can't blame Brooke. I mean, she had to leave, but we ended up at 49. But we still met all of our membership goals. Our club retention rate was increased by at least 1%. We had a net gain in female members and a net gain in individuals under the age of 40. So overall membership, we met all of our goals, and I think she did an amazing job heading that. Fundraising, Dawn was our fundraising guru. She did an amazing job, and she got all these done before COVID hit. I don't know if she knew and didn't tell us or what the situation was there, but Dawn, do you want to give us a recap of what you thought of our spaghetti dinner and our tour of homes and our tequila tasting, our rum tasting?
Oh, I just had a blast doing it. It was just fun. Everybody comes together. I mean, it's just, you know, the tour of homes, I think, was the highlight. It was a huge hit by the community. I mean, the way it was received by the community, and the comments that people were like, bring this back, because it was something that was here and went away. I think it would be a great thing to do on an annual basis. Our spaghetti dinner, of course, was a blast. We always make it fun. It's a long day, but it's one long day that's worth it, I think, for everybody to put the time in, everybody that volunteered and came in and participated. So, I mean, we just have a great bunch of people that like doing great things. So it was fun doing it.
Thank you, Dawn. And I want to run off some numbers for you. Our Parade of Homes brought in over $2,000 gross. Our rum tasting brought in about $250. That was no cost to us. And our spaghetti dinner brought in almost $3,000. That includes expenses. So we did an amazing job, and I agree with you. Maybe we could have a virtual tour of homes. I'm not sure how that's going to work for this year, but we do have the signs, so we'll have to utilize them some way.
And I may add too, I have the extra shot glasses here at home. So when whoever decides to do another tasting of some sort, I've got the shot glasses.
Awesome. Thank you. We're going to go on to foundation. Charles, you did an amazing job this year. I know, you know, people may sometimes feel like, here's Charles, he's up again at the podium asking us for some money, but it works. You make it work. You make us feel, you know, that we want to give, that we want to make an impact in the world. And we budgeted to do $10,000 to polio this year, and we surpassed that. We almost hit 11,000. You know, Justin did an amazing job with Pints for Polio. I think the whole group did. And our pennies for polio, every penny counted to get us past that $10,000 mark. We had our Paul Harris contribution, so this is like annual fund. We surpassed it. We budgeted 32,000, and we ended up putting in almost 4,400. So you want to just kind of do a recap of you know, what your expectations were and what they are going to be going forward? I'll unmute you there. There you go. Now we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to get with, I need to get with Justin and kind of fine tune things. As you remember, JD and I went down to the award ceremony in Harlingen, and we were easily one of the top clubs in the district in giving and being exemplary club and so forth and so on. Remember those trophies we brought home? I still have the big polio plus one, the big glass drop, blue drop. Maybe some of you didn't see it. It's a little over 1 foot tall. Very nice. And I already warned Ruth, if she doesn't ask for it, it may just stay at my house here or at my office. But no, I'm willing to bring that in. If we maybe make a game, maybe auction that thing off, because it belongs to the club. It's not mine. But J.D. knew. I grabbed it pretty hard, didn't I, J.D.?
That is an awesome suggestion. I'm sorry, I never did. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, that's a good way to. It's so pretty, and it's that thing must weigh what, 15 pounds? It's solid.
Well, yeah. And you could raise some money. Ruth would pay extra for it to not have to come and clutter up her shelf.
That's
Maybe.
right.
Maybe I should go get it, and while y'all start up some more there, I'll go get it and display it again. Has anyone not seen it? Raise your hand if you have not seen that award.
It's up on the screen right now. We're all seeing it.
Where?
I just have to say that cracks me up. I just put it in chat. It looks like that girl is holding the certificate behind JD.
I'm not seeing it. Where are you talking about, Ruth? I'm not seeing it.
Justin is sharing his screen with us.
Oh, I don't have it.
Charles, are you on your phone?
No, I'm on a computer.
Oh.
Huh.
Well, he's showing us a picture of it right now.
Oh, well, good. I don't have to go get it.
Well, thank you for your service with this, Charles. You've done an amazing job in all the years you've served, and I know
Absolutely.
we can
Well,
expect
thank you.
the same going forward.
Absolutely.
Let's go into our community service, J.D. We took a big hit this year on ramps. We weren't able to get as many as we wanted to get done, but we made some leaps and bounds in other areas as far as our community engagement in our projects. Do you want to talk about some of those?
I'll let you recap,
Okay,
Ruth, but
so
I will talk about ramps. Even though because of COVID and because of the bingo funds that we weren't able to get to and anticipate building those ramps, we still did more than the region, any club. South Corpus quotes themselves as the ramp champs, and to me they are the ramp champs because they brought it in, and we've based they gave us all the blueprints and the techniques to build these things, but they build maybe 1 or 2 a year, and we still surpass that.
I think we're at what, 33 or 34
I
started?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I'll have to go back and look. I should have pulled that for us, but yes, we hit our 25th ramp. I was trying to talk everybody into painting it silver for our anniversary ramp, but no, it didn't work.
Didn't go with the house
No,
paint.
they weren't having it. They were having it.
Well, aside from that, we had our adoption fair participation, and we had a lot of members come out and do that. It was a lot of fun playing with the kiddos, doing laser tag, and just getting to see them have a really fun day. And so that was one of our projects. The other was the Bags of Love. And we had a great turnout from our club, but we had a great turnout from our community. We had multiple partners throughout the community, you know, different churches, different civic organizations, and the Clayburgh Bank stepped in as a business, brought some of their partners down and filled bags with us. So it was a great event, and I hope that we can continue just the feelings of that event. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same thing, but I think it was something really positive that we were able to do as a club. International services, I would really lean heavily on Richard to give us a recap on this, but I'll give you the basics. We were unable to move too much further with the Nepal Rabbit Project through a global grant because of the community assessments that they were requiring for us to complete. And we were just not able to meet those qualifications. But we were able to make progress in the sense that Justin had come up with the idea of restructuring this as a district grant, and Richard was able to apply for that and get it in under the deadline for this upcoming year. We also have our Dari Severe Scholarship Program, which is ongoing. So that's another international project. And then wrapping up through the end of the year was the Global Grant New Zealand Scholarship, which we were approved for, and our scholarship recipient is working on some virtual coursework, and then she is making plans to travel when some of the restrictions are lifted to New Zealand to complete her final coursework and to go on to get her master's. So more to come on that.
And just to interrupt real quick while we're still on international, for those of you that don't know, so a global grant you can do kind of any time of the year. There's kind of willy-nilly, and they're a larger grant, larger dollar. A district grant you can do one per year, and the deadline to submit that is June 30. That date might sound familiar to some of you as the end of the Rotary year. And so that's always been kind of a difficult thing that, you know, the district grant is due at the end of the Rotary year for the coming Rotary year. And so not only is that a little bit of a hurdle in itself, but Richard had about 10 days, perhaps even a fortnight to get that done. And so next time you see Richard, do give him a round of applause on being able to put that entire district grant together in a very short amount of time. We haven't been approved yet. The grant committee has not yet met, but we got it submitted and all that, and he's worked closely with Juan Lita, our grants dude at the district level. And so he did a great job on that. And so do tell Richard, thank you so much for his hard work and dedication to getting that together.
Thank you for that, Justin. And then our last committee was youth services. This year was a little bit difficult. We did not have our RILA group. We had some complications in communicating with counselors. This is nothing new. We've gone through this in the past. You have counselors who are some are leaving to other schools and districts, but some of these schools are also, the counselors move with the students. So if we're targeting seniors, the next year that counselor is going to a freshman class, it's like we're having to reestablish those relationships every year. So we're working on ways to find a solution for that, but hopefully we're able to participate in RILA. I don't even know if they're going to be able to facilitate that this year. I haven't heard. Justin, have you heard anything about that?
Yeah, and so Mary McQueen is the lady at the district level that is kind of in charge of RILA, because RILA in our district kind of funnels through the Rotary Club of Kingsville, or of Corpus Christi, the big club downtown. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe they're going to try for a kind of a virtual RILA this year, but they're still kind of working out the kinks and all that. But I know that they're not going to let it go. That RILA is a big thing in the district, And so something will happen with that. And so we can be confident that we can send our kiddos to something.
Okay, great. So we're going to push for that again this year. We're going to try to get at least one. With it being online, there might be a reduced cost and we can send multiple, but we'll come back to y'all as we learn more information. And then we have Interact Club, which we've been trying to get up off the ground for a couple of years now. Susan has worked tirelessly trying to get that working with the school districts. Same situation, you have principals, new principals coming in, principals going out. We have Veronica on our side this year from the Santa Gertrudis district, so that's going to help us to facilitate some of those relationships. But we'll continue to push on, regardless of some of these individual goals that we did not quite meet. I'll take 30 of 33 any day of the week. So overall, I think we did an amazing job. We should be receiving a Rotary citation with distinction. We submitted our application for district recognition. And so overall, I think we did an amazing job, and all because of our leadership, our board, and our wonderful members who put in the effort to make our goals a success. So thank you all. I was so happy to lead this club, and passing it over to Justin. There you go.
Thank you, Ruth. That was a wonderful recap and an amazing job for the year. And so one more thing, kind of a recap, is Rotary Leadership Institute. Part of that was done at the district level, and here recently that's been done at the division level, Lone Star Division, which covers probably 70% of the state of Texas. And so that's something else that we've been pushing real hard. And that came in under Ruth's year, and she's also gone through some of the RLI programming, and so we appreciate her leadership on that. So thank you so much. Okie dokie, moving on to our upcoming things. So speaking of Rotary Leadership Institute, what a segue, right? So today begins the next offering of RLI Part 2. Anybody that needs a Part 2 training in that, we still have some space available. And so that is this is a concise offering. It's today, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. These are back to back on the afternoons. And so if anybody needs an RLI Part 2, we have that starting this afternoon. Next Monday, we'll have our monthly Board of Directors meeting, same time, same place. And thank you to those on the board that allowed us to postpone that. I wasn't feeling real well, and some others in our club were not also feeling real well. And so we are on the upswing on that. So I'll also be looking forward to not only the Zoom invite to that, but also some ancillary documentation that we will be reviewing for the board meeting, including the member satisfaction survey, a preliminary budget that we'll want to work through, some of the upcoming programming, some foundation goals that we'll want to work with Charles on, in addition to other committee and director goals. And so be looking forward to a plethora of documents coming in at you. Next Tuesday, Part 3 of Rotary Leadership Institute begins. That'll be a Tuesday-Thursday offering. And if you can't make that one, we'll have a second offering of RLI Part 3. And Jay Dean and I will be taking another one of those sessions. And so if you can't get enough of our antics here, we do have more avenues for you. So fret not. And Rotary After Dark, we're bringing back our evening programming. We will start that back up on July 15, next Wednesday. That'll of course be virtual, but it will still be a lot of fun. So be looking forward to the time and invite and all that. We'll do it over Zoom, and who knows what kinds of fun and games we might have. I know Renee is looking forward to holding on to her trophy status And so I know that she's down for that. And RMDTI, Rotary Multi-District Training Institute. We have this coming up, and I'm going to give you some more information from the website there, but I'm not sure if you can tell over here. These are all capitalized, they are bold, they are italicized, and they're underlined. It is a free registration. You do have to register, but it is free. And so let me show you what some of those things are from the district website. And so we'll be having sessions over foundation and membership and public image and Rotaract and Rotary Youth Exchange and all sorts of fun stuff. I went last year, it was up in Austin. It's like a little mini Pets, sort of. It's drinking from a fire hose. It's wonderful information. I made a lot of friends, made a lot of contacts there. And so this year we're graced by the presence of Susie Howe. She is our new Rotary International Director for our region 36, which is 2 paired zones, which is all of South America up through Ontario. And so Susie Howe is our new Rotary International Director. Andy Smallwood is the aide to the RI president. And so he is our kind of intermediary between us and Holger. And if nothing else, it is worth just hearing his little speech. He's fun. He's good stuff. So there'll be some more information on registration for RMDTI coming soon to you. And of course, we have our district governor visit. So Eddie Bartnetsky will be coming to virtually join us for a board meeting and for our club meeting. It's going to all be over Zoom, and we'll do that in September. And so I know Charles will have plenty more information for us before then, and we'll have our goals lined out. And so Eddie will help us with our strategic planning and making sure that we're on the right path. But Jadine and Ruth have really put us on a winning trajectory already, so that won't be difficult at all. So a couple of things to look forward to, and also check out the website and the website calendar for these events as well. Does anybody else have anything to share for the good of Rotary?
Question.
Yes, Ruth.
The Zoom login, I was able to get mine through the bulletin for the Zoom link for today, but where's the information for individuals to call in? I have Richard messaging me.
Excellent question.
I can start including that on there.
Okay.
For him. Yeah.
I wasn't sure where to find
so
it to
used
send
to
to
just
him.
one click, but yeah, I can put that on there for us.
Okay.
All right. Tell him he has 2 minutes to join. Does anybody else? Sorry, Jadine.
Oh, I was going to add also, if you didn't have already enough ways to learn about Rotary, there's also the breakout sessions that you would attend at a Rotary International conference. That it's not always just about Rotary, but you might have a Rotarian that knows a lot about human trafficking, or a Rotarian that's working on Ebola in Nigeria and some of the back regions of Nigeria. They have extended that for free online all through July. And so also in the bulletin, there's a link to that. Take a look at that. And they're 1 hour, 2 hour bite-size live presentations, kind of like what we're doing here with people from around the world on various subjects. So take a look at that too.
Thank you, Jadine. And so this week we are going to forego our weekly Paul Harris drawing so that we can prepare for the new Paul Harris drawings that'll be coming in next week. So again, be looking towards the bulletin for that. And so thank you all for joining us today. We're here every Tuesday, same time, same place. And so if you will, please join me in the 4-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to
Fair to
all
all
concerned?
concerned.
Will it build
Will it build
goodwill
goodwill
and
and
better
better
friendships?
Friendships.
And will it be
Will it be
beneficial
beneficial
to
to
all
all
concerned? Thank you so much for joining us. Adios.
Great job, Justin.
Good job,
Good
Justin.
job, Justin.
Justin, I saw Mark raising his hand. He may
Yeah.
have a question for you.
Oh, well, Mark Walsh, please do.
Yeah, I was talking to Richard earlier today at the beginning of the meeting, and he was not able to get on. I don't know if he needs some special instruction or what the case is, but he was trying to log on. He's had trouble with Zoom. I don't know who has the expertise with that. I surely don't, but you might give him a call.
Well, thank you, Mark. And we know that we see you here every week. And so perhaps you'd be able to lead Richard into how to correctly connect to Zoom. We know that you've been able to do that very well so far. So would you mind taking the helm on helping him with that?
I'll be glad to help. But when I log on, I get on and I see, I think it's usually Ruth is kind of made up